Okay, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Timothy Whalen. I'm a firefighter here with the Kirk Fire Department. Been here about 15 years, going on 15 years now. Been a paramedic for about 20. And so I've been around, done some things, seen some things, and I hope I can impart some of that knowledge and stuff that I've learned to you guys here today. Like I said, today is hose streams and hose operations and hose streams. Some of it's going to be a little bit of a review for some of you. Some of it's a little bit of new. Just, if you have any questions, just, speak up. I may ask questions to you. If you feel, raise your hand, or I'll just call on you and we'll get it going. Before we do start, I will tell you that we have a couple bathrooms here. The bathroom here, if you have to go to the restroom, there's one in front of the class here. There's also one if you walk out the back door, make a left, and there's 4 bathrooms up there, unisex bathrooms. Excuse me. As far as exits, right behind you, you'll see that there is an elevator you can take right out the back. You can go down the back way. And there's a stairwell. If there's, in case of emergency, there's a stairwell right out the back door. Just go straight out and straight down and take you out to the parking lot. Any other questions at any given time, just let me know. If you need to get a drink, get something to eat, whatever. If I'm going on too long, getting long-winded, just let me know and we can slow down and take a break. We will take a couple breaks. There will be a small little quiz at the end. We'll take it, see if we can get through it. I think we should be fine. Everybody knows this stuff pretty well. Okay, without further ado, here we go. Okay, hose operations and hose streams. Now, we all know there's different methods of supplying water for the fire ground, correct? Anything you can get, and we're going to go over a lot of them right now. The most dependable water source is what? That's right, fire hydrant. Very good. Fire hydrants, they're everywhere you go. It's a constant water, it's under pressure, so we can always get it. Most places have fire hydrants everywhere. Sometimes you can have a failure of a fire hydrant when you would maybe need like some other source of water, and we'll go over some of those sources right now. But most of the times, most urban areas like we're in right now have hydrants everywhere. Anywhere you need them, and they're everywhere. So on those hydrants, they can fail. We've seen it. We've all seen hydrants fail. We've all tried and turned them, and you see nothing's happening, or it's leaking when you get there and things right. Well, here's some of the reasons that the hydrants could fail. They have the damaged valves and connections, which we've seen that. Like you go to hook it up, and we try to keep them as clean as we can. But someone comes up, messes with them. You could have everything can be stripped on it. You can have broken water mains, which we've seen on calls in fires. We've had broken water mains. It happens. You get that from water hammer, and we'll go over that a little bit later. And here's a big one too. The greater demand than the system can provide. Does anybody, you understand what that means? The greater system. So if we're trying to pump a fire, we need a certain amount of pressure, but we have a hydrant that's uphill and just doesn't get that good of pressure. You're not going to get what you need out of that hydrant to pump that fire. It's just going to be extremely difficult. And we have those hydrants in town. A lot of them that are uphill, a lot of them downhill from the water plant. They get great pressure, but some of them, that's actually a big deal. The hydrants on the dead end water mains, of course, closed isolation valves, restricted mains, frozen pipes, or hydrants. Can happen sometimes. We've got we'll go over the types of hydrants there. Not too often, but it can happen. You'll have frozen pipes and hydrants. Now, I will say this, and we've come across this, it's the frozen hydrant. So if we have a big rain, a big ice storm or something, and we have had this happen before where you get to a hydrant, and that hydrant is literally iced shut, like you can't get to it. And so we've had to break it off, and you can use one of your tools to get that hydrant open to break it and get it open, because it can be a big pain. So here's the construction materials of the fire hydrants that we come across. Most of the time, the most frequent ones we do. The bonnets and barrels of the fire, they're all made of cast iron, okay? The working parts are made of bronze, typically inside the fire made of bronze. And then the valves and facings are made of rubber, leather, stuff like that. It's more pliable, or other composite materials. We've seen it all. Here's a picture of a fire hydrant right here. It's very good. So on the front there, you've got your steamer connection. It's your big, large diameter hose connection right there on the front. That's what we do. Here's a hydrant nut up top. This is what we're going to turn to get the fire hydrant on, get the fire hydrant off. And so here's some other hose outlets. So these are for the the nozzle outlets on the side. Smaller diameter hoses, but there's usually one here, one on the other side over there, and then, again, your big steamer. Everybody's pretty familiar with the hydrants, I know it's a review, but if we get to these hydrants, you really got to pay attention to these caps, because they'll leak, and these caps will be sometimes the threads in here. And you can't really see that well, but the threads inside there on those caps, they will get chipped and marred, and they won't go on all the way. And getting them off sometimes can be a really, really big pain. So it's just upkeep, general upkeep of these hydrants.